Hey guys, Infidel1258 here. Today I want to talk to you about Zyriel and a clip from the town hall where we hear Aggie speak to the degree of success or frustration he felt over the Zyriel promo card sale. There's even a comment on what is the next promo card. You may have seen this from the town hall. It's one little quip from the FAQ portion of the town hall. And I thought this was worth diving into. I want to hear what he has to say, and then I'm going to comment on what he has to say with my own thoughts about that sale and about any future promo cards that we can expect in the near future. So let's get into that. But before we do, shout out to SPLINTERCOACH, sponsor of the video. And SPLINTERCOACH is an amazing website that's going to track your personalized battle history within Splinterlands. As low as $5 a month, you can have access to this really interesting, powerful tool. And I say interesting because it is actually a piece of entertainment. But then additionally, there's the fundamental functionality that comes out of being able to analyze the data. And for $5 a month to recognize, not just that Lily Shieldpaw is successful, but that it is actually like extremely successful. 42 and 24 is my personal record. That's one of my most played summoners, but also it's winning almost all, like more than half of its battles. And so then that can inform decisions. That can maybe, okay, well, Shieldpaw is great. Let me lean into that. I can acquire certain dragon monsters to support that. And you can click on your Shieldpaw and find that, these are the 5 most played cards. And maybe in your case, you see that one of the cards you're playing with is only level 3 and you play at diamond. So that's then a piece of information that's helping you recognize, 1, I win a lot with this summoner. 2, I use this card in conjunction with that summoner. 3, this card is good with the summoner and yet it's not maximum level. So that's one point of action that you could actually fundamentally improve how you win and therefore the rewards you're receiving. And like I said, SPLINTERCOACH, $5 for a month of the service, 17 cents a day. An amazing entertainment plus a fundamental tool that will help you extract more reward for your time and attention. So check out splintercoach.com. Let's get into it. So like I said, I went through the town hall and I'm in the FAQ portion, and I have queued up here a question that's about to be read by Aggie, and he's going to talk about the next promo card. What do we know what the next promo card is? When will it be released? What rarity? Any details at all? The answer largely to those is no, but let's hear what he says because there might be something to read between the lines on it. And then lastly, he speaks to Zyriel. What was the degree or what was the interpretation of how that went? And I want to hear his thoughts here, and I want to comment on specifically on those thoughts because I think Zyriel was an important promo sale for a lot of reasons. 1, it's this card that crosses splinters for the first time ever. You can look at neutrals or dragons and they are applicable with, a wide variety of splinters. But this is the first card that is multi-splinter, and that's really cool. Plus, I think to some extent, the degree to which this card was a success, if it was a success, is going to let's say lead to or impede the creation of new multi-splinter cards. So if this was a tremendous fail from their perspective, that's going to be maybe the end of this, and maybe there won't be more of these. So let's hear what he has to say and let's comment more afterwards. Okay, here we go.
And when will the next promo card be released? Any leaks on the type, rarity, cost? What were your thoughts on the Zyriel sale? When will the next promo card be released? I actually don't know that we have the next plans for that. It's not like right on the net. I don't know. It'll probably be next age. I don't think that it's going to be in this current age. Any leaks on the type, rarity, or cost? Nope. And then what were your thoughts on the Zyriel sale? Well, I was a little bit bummed that we crossed our wires a bit for the beginning of the burn and the end of the Zyriel sale. So I think that Zyriel got a little bit of a smushing right at the end, but I don't really care because the burn has been freaking phenomenal, and we saw nearly 500 million DEC, which is 10% of all existing DEC burned. And I feel like that's pretty damn good.
I think the most important part that I heard there, and I want to see comments below about this. But for one thing, I am not hearing from Aggie a declaration that this was a failure or that there was a disappointment in the Zyriel card creation, planning, price point, number planned. There was some degree of frustration or disappointment expressed, but not at the planning and the structure and the, you know, the pricing and all that, right? It was aimed at the fact that we also simultaneously arranged to do the event sale. And the event sale, the Great Burning, I don't know, is it a sale? I don't know. The Great Burning, let's call it, just call it that, was a distraction that overlapped with the Zyriel sale. And as a result, and they're both DEC related cost. And so, you know, you're over here, you want to participate in the Great Burning. By the way, I'm 115 on the ranking board with 2.4 million points. That means I burnt 806,670 DEC plus 240 DECB. I'm currently in that top 200, which means that I would qualify theoretically for one of the lowest level titles, which is cool. And I'm kind of hoping and feeling that that's probably going to carry forward, but we still have plenty of time. So, you know, I don't know. We have 22 days. We'll see if I feel like I've been ticking down 5, 6, 7 spots every day. So, you know, if this keeps up, I probably do slip out of that top 200. And then maybe I have a conversation with myself about burning more DEC. I don't know. That's a side point. The conversation that I do want to spark is that obviously the Great Burning has been exciting. It has drawn a lot of attention. Even me in this context, in this conversation, this video, just even digressing to say how excited I am to try and stay within the 200 is an indication that the Great Burning has been successful. And so to Aggie's point, it probably wasn't optimal that the Great Burning was happening simultaneously at the same time as the Zyriel card sale, because they're both DEC sinks. You know, you really only have so much DEC, and if it's going to cost you 80,000 DEC, which is what one metric or one way to analyze the cost of the Zyriel, to have minted one of these, you know, you could have paid vouchers, then certainly you get to a place, well, I could buy a lot of points within the Great Burning for that. I also know that contextually, like, the cryptocurrency is going to cost me 40, 50 bucks to buy one of these Zyriels from the marketplace, like from Splinterlands, depending on what the cost of DEC was, depending on what your access to vouchers were. But 40 or 50 bucks is pretty standard because of the, you know, the price point of the mint one. And then you could probably get in here for maybe buy one for 30 or even 36 right off the low buy. And so it was like, if you wanted a few copies, you could just go buy them off the marketplace. If you wanted to have an opportunity to buy some gold foils and get lucky, maybe you would go to Splinterlands. But the likelihood that you were going to do that was diminished by some degree because of that concurrent burning. And so again, did you hear frustration aimed at how Zyriel was planned? Did he make any negative comment about the promo card itself? Did he say that the multi-splinter was a problem and no one wanted it? Did he allude to any sort of frustration or disappointment that was directed at the card or the promo itself? I think no. And that to me is great news, because it actually implies that we might see more of this type of promo card, or maybe even forget about promo cards for a moment, maybe just this type of multi-splinter card, which I think is going to add a great degree of complexity to the gameplay experience. And it's going to open up doors for new synergies that you never thought were possible before, that were literally never possible at all before. And so that's exciting to me. And I'm hopeful that that's true. And I think within the context of that comment, that is the takeaway. They like it. They thought Zyriel was, generally speaking, successful, but they felt as though the Great Burning took away some of the heat and some of the luster, which I think necessarily it did. And to add one last point, I'm going to say clearly Zyriel ended up being overpriced. I think there were too many units being suggested available. But we had this smart burn mechanism in place, so it's okay that we said 15,000. It's fine if we say 15,000 and we burn the rest after a certain timeline. It's fine if we release a pack in the future and we say, 10 million, but we're going to burn X if they don't get sold by such and such date. That sort of mechanism within this game is clearly a winning formula for Splinterlands. One, because the team isn't going to have stock that just sits on the shelves, the metaphorical shelves, for months and months and months past anyone's interest point. But two, because it actually creates incentive to move quickly. And 3, for the person who buys it, you're actually fine with it if nobody buys it or fewer people buy it, because it means the asset you acquired for the price you thought was fair ends up in the end being even more scarce than you originally imagined. And so I feel like Zyriel was a success. It's just that it wasn't the success we originally hoped for. And it was impeded by other external factors. I think that's okay. I think I like how you spoke to that. I think ultimately it speaks to me of a confidence with with the product that was created. And, you know, you almost might say, well, he's not going to come out here and roast and say like the Zyriel sucked, the card stats were terrible. I think he almost would hint something there. In my mind, Aggie is a straight shooter. I would have expected, if there was any sense of the card was a disappointment, the stats weren't accurate or you know, appropriate or commensurate for the cost. If there was something like that, I feel he would have said it. It's like, we're generally okay. We thought we could have done better. It would have done better if it weren't for the Great Burning being concurrent, is what I heard. And I think that's a great sort of posture, because it speaks to the likelihood of more of those cool cards that I want to see more of. And even though I didn't personally buy Zyriel, again, it wasn't because it was a bad card. It was because I had other things I needed to buy, including participation in the Great Burning. I think many of us felt that way. And so one day, I suspect I will buy it off the marketplace. One day. But in the meantime, I'm participating elsewhere. Guys, thanks so much for your time and attention. I hope you have an amazing day. And just thank you so much. Oh yeah, make sure you check out SplinterCoach. Like I said, $5 a month. Amazing value for what's being provided. Thanks, guys. Bye for now.